Ahoy, my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. We are officially 1 week away from Guild Battle number 10. We have a new banner to look at today. There's some interesting stuff to talk about. Before we get into that, I just wanted to make a update recruitment announcement. Ifrit it has filled. Odin, which is a top 20 guild, is still looking for 2 strong players. So if you guys are interested, the guild leader is awesome. His name is Fred, and they are a great crew of players. So Odin's still looking for 2, and then Kujata is actually looking for 1 player. So if you guys are interested, check out the description in this video for a link to our Discord. Come join our Discord, and then inquire to join one of the Curseborn Alliance guilds. All right, so that being said, let's get into the notices and let's check this out. Now, I looked into my crystal ball and saw Yuffie. We're not going to start with Yuffie. We're going to go back, but I think she's interesting. Alright, so apparently there was a claim all function in the gift box issues. I personally hope this leads to them expanding the stamina. Oh my gosh, I can't function today, guys. The cap on stamina, right? I know there's a different way to say this. I'm not thinking about it right now. My brain is just blanking. But the stamina potion cap, right, is 99. It really needs to be 999, like long time ago, right? That's my feeling. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think the cap needs to be raised. So let's see what this was. We have resolved an issue where claiming all items would result in receiving an item that exceeds the maximum amount of items, and the item being added to the gift box again at the maximum amount of items. Okay, so we have a notice. It has come in the form of a riddle. And today we're going to try and... I don't even know if I'm going to try. I'm just going to read this one more time. We have resolved an issue where claiming all items would result in receiving an item that exceeds the maximum amount of items, and the item being added to the gift box again at the maximum amount of items. Like, you claimed something from the gift box and got it, but then it went back in the gift box at the maximum amount. That's what I'm getting from this. If I'm totally wrong, please let me know. I'm not sure how important this is, but this is a message from the management team. When a player tries to receive an item that exceeds the maximum amount of items in the gift box, the system will attempt to receive the item that exceeds the maximum amount. Yada yada yada. In addition, when items that originally had an expiration date are added to the gift box due to this issue, the expiration date will be 30 days after the item was added to the gift box. Items for which no expiration date will be regifted with the same this sounds very complicated. But if this riddle and like dire complexity results in the stamina potion cap being 999, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Alright, so let's get into the actual notices from today. New chapter release campaign on now. Alright, so that's going to be super cool. So I think there is a First Soldier chapter release today. We'll see. I think it is. It says new chapter release. Clear missions and get a total of draw ticket times 50 and Angeal specific weapon part ticket times 100. Alright, that's awesome. I do think that the rewards have gotten a little bit better in the last couple months. Like overall, even if just slightly, I do think they have gotten better. New chapter release login bonus, gotcha ticket. So log in to get a 5-star weapon guaranteed draw ticket. Blue crystal times 600. So that's not that many. And more. Hopefully it's more blue crystals. That would be great. Just my thoughts on the matter. Alright, so critical threat, Rufus Showdown Frenzy battle on now. Alright, so there's another 1,000 crystals right there. Since the number of people who cleared the crash battle, thank you to everyone who competed in the crash and to everyone that helped run other players. You guys are amazing human beings. The clear reward in this frenzy battle will be blue crystal times 1,000, yada yada yada. We already know that. Alright, let's go up. Alright, Yuffie's new weapon feature draw on now. Okay, this one's interesting, I'm going to say. Alright, so let's just go down. Let's take a look at this. Alright, so here we have Watch of the Hunt. Alright, command ability Lightning Ninjutsu, ATB cost 4, inflicts up to 540% magic lightning damage to all enemies and reduces their P attack. In addition, when the caster's HP is 70% or more, increases all allies' physical defense. Okay, now we look at the gear, the fit for this, and we get our ability, Physical and Magic Ward, boosts physical and magic defense, And then we get Ribbon Rabbit Ears. All right, so special name as usual. They're not letting us down at all. All right, when granting physical attack down, max potency tier will be increased. Only affects max potency tier. Okay, interesting. So it's basically like the physical attack down version of Angeal's anniversary costume. Now, also, Tifa's Bunny Bustier is getting a update. So boost magic ability damage when attack stance command gauge is at max from 10 to 15 points. She looks great there, let's be real. And then Zack's ultimate weapon, of course. The thing that is kind of confusing me, guys, is like if we go back down here, if we go to guild ranking battle number 10. Oh, and there's something I forgot to note is that the period for the guild war now, the end time on the last day has changed, right? So originally it used to be April 23rd, 7 p.m. to April 29th, 6 p.m., right? But now it's actually going to, the guild war is going to stop on the third day at the day reset, all right? So, by the way, if you guys can hear some knocking, I'm pretty sure it's like a gigantic woodpecker on the outside of my house, but we'll see. I'm not actually sure. It's a mystery as to what it is out there knocking at this time of night. All right, so yeah, it is ending 4 hours earlier than, no, actually I think 5 hours earlier than usual, which is interesting. But the point of why we came over here is that in Guild Battle number 10, Lightning Physical are effective. Now, if we go back and we look at the last featured banner, right, for Sid, okay, it's not Try-On 2, it's Try-On 1, although we do love that costume. All right, this is magic lightning damage, and then the new Yuffie costume is also magic lightning damage. Now, it just seems strange since the Guild War is going to be physical. You know, it would make sense to be pulling on something that's going to be relevant. Maybe they're not going to be relevant. Either way, kind of an interesting weapon. Basically, no damage. It's weird how, like, the support characters got, like, super arcanums, but then the DPS character got a weapon that does actually less damage overall than those ones, and no arcanum, not even a mastery, even though I think that, yeah, masteries, I don't know. But, like, not even a regular arcanum. So, just kind of a strange approach right here. Alright, so here we are. New chapter, Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, Episode 2, Chapter 3. Alright, so let's check that out. Episode 3, The Arduous Path to the Blade, has been released. Also, Crisis Medal times 5,000 has been added to the extra section, extra clear rewards. Alright, that's a lot of Crisis Medals. So I'm super psyched to check out the new story, actually. And then we have Critical Threat Masamune Hunt on now, alright, which is in their typical release fashion, so we'll get the crash 1 week from today. Alright, so this one should be pretty cool. I'm actually pretty psyched to see how Masamune is going to be on a crash. Pretty sure he's actually not weak to lightning or magic lightning, so yeah, I guess everything that's kind of going on is a mystery to me. I don't think we actually, oh, here we did. We did get a shop for Yuffie. It is a typical shop, so nothing crazy. Now let's just go take a quick look at the banner. So let's try on the costume. Pretty cool. I feel like Shorty has an Easter costume, so it would have been cool to get, or I don't even know if this is an Easter costume. Is it? It's like some Alice in Wonderland vibe with the clock right here. I do like the clock. That's pretty fun. I mean, she does look cool, not gonna lie. It's a cool costume. I like the little, I was gonna say horns. They're actually rabbit ears. They're a lot softer than horns. But it does look pretty cool. Although I feel like it would have been cool to have another character get something else. But Yuffie does make it work. Let's be real. She makes it work. Alright, then for the actual weapon, let's just take a look. Alright, so OB1, 390% magic lightning damage, duration 22 seconds. Alright, max potency, so it's low to mid at OB1. Alright, when HP is 70% or more, physical defense is increased, low to mid. Alright, then we have HP over magic ability potency, double magic attack, and circle sigil at OB6. We have 480% mid to high, so another spamming weapon. You kind of have to cast it a lot in a row. And also physical defense mid to high. Alright, and then at OB10, so it's at 480% magic lightning. It just seems strange. Like this feels like this should have went on one of the supports from last week, and then one of those stronger weapons should have went on the DPS from this week. Like, switch this weapon with Sid's. I suppose. But even though I think Yuffie's like full-blown DPS character, she should be getting major DPS stuff. So the weapon is a little bit strange. I'll have to think about it when I release my to pull or not to pull video tomorrow. So I'm going to ponder this kind of enigma right here. It is definitely interesting. We get physical attack break, and then a costume that allows us to take it to 4 tiers. I think buffs are more important than debuffs, because debuffs can be, you know, a boss can be immune to them, but a buff you can basically cast all the time. So Angeals I still think takes precedence, but yeah, it's hard to say. Alright guys, well that is going to conclude the patch updates for the day. You know, like I said, if you're looking to join a strong guild, a healthy group of players competing and fighting alongside each other, like I said, Odin is recruiting 2 players and Kujata 1. Just join our Discord and, you know, even just shoot me a DM and I'll set everything up. So anyways guys, that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, please don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to the channel for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.